Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? I hope you're having an absolutely lovely day. Today I thought I would try out some newish makeup. Well, it's all, okay, so, boy, I cannot apparently collect my thoughts to complete a full sentence. Some of the stuff I just purchased yesterday, and some of this other stuff I have been using for a little while, but I don't think I've really shown you guys. So I'm excited to try them. Today I'm drinking white tea. If you're unacquainted with white tea, it's like the least processed of all the different kinds of teas. All tea, whether it's green tea or black tea or oolong tea, it's all made from just the regular tea leaf, but it differs in its taste because of the different cultivars, first of all, but also in how it's produced. White tea, it's literally just picked and dried. Like they don't do any sort of roasting or frying or anything to it. Therefore, the taste is really, really delicate. This is a pretty good one. This is from Davidson's Organic. I say it's a pretty good one because it has lots of flavor. Sometimes I've had white tea where I'm kind of like, all right, there's like no flavor. This one tastes pretty good. White tea in general kind of tastes like, I don't know if you've ever smelled freshly mown hay, if you're from the country. Like encapsulate that smell and put it into white tea, and that's what it tastes like. I know it doesn't sound very good to everyone, but I really enjoy it. Let's get into the playing with makeup. So I'm already moisturized and sunscreened. I am using the Coola one. So I'm gonna go in with some primer. This one is relatively new to me. It's from L'Oreal. This is the Magic Perfecting Base. Annoyingly, I think they're discontinuing this. They keep discontinuing my pore filling primers that I'm choosing. I picked this one specifically because I ran out of my smoothing one from Revlon. That one got discontinued. This is the one that Jen Phelps likes, and it is very like silicone-y, kind of pillowy texture, but I really, really like it. And honestly, whenever an influencer who is over 35 talks about a smoothing primer that they like, I believe them. You know, and she's been raving about this one forever, and I had been holding off buying it just to finish off the one I was working on. I don't know if you guys can tell a difference. I'm just filming on my phone, so I know sometimes the finer details, it's hard for you guys to see. I can definitely see a difference though. It doesn't just smooth, it also mattifies, which I really like for putting in my T-zone. I'll even put a little bit on my chin. Okay, next I'm gonna do a little bit of spot concealing before I put on my foundation. This one isn't new to me. You guys have seen me use this before. This is the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I have the shade Nougatine, and I like to spot conceal beforehand because I feel like it makes me use less foundation then. Okay, now we get to the product that is basically the reason for this video. I just saw Emily Noel talk about this. Oh, and this is the Believe Beauty foundation. I was just annoyed when I saw this sticky thing on there. It had one of those stickers that dings when you take it out of the store, and I cannot get the sticky stuff off. Scrubbing it with Dawn soap and hot water, I still can't get it off. If you guys have any tricks for removing stickiness from store stickers, please let me know. But anyway, this is the Believe Beauty foundation. Believe Beauty is only at Dollar General, which, I don't know, in my mind when I think of like a dollar store makeup brand, I immediately have negative thoughts. I don't think it's gonna be any good, but I heard Emily Noel talk about this, and I know that Allie Glines really likes this foundation, and I kind of have been looking for a foundation that is more matte. All of mine are more dewy and glowy, which this summer it has been too much. I'm like, okay, I need something that is not going to add to the glow that I already have. I got mine in the shade Delicate Ivory, and I was so surprised. I quick threw this on my face last night just to check the shade match, because they did tell me that if I brought my receipt back, I would be able to exchange if it was the wrong shade. And somehow I think I picked a decent shade. I mean, we'll see how it looks on camera, but look at how nice, once you get the cap off, it has a nice pump, which I was really expecting it to be like dumping your hand thing, since this is only $5. I also picked up the Believe Beauty foundation brush. I'm gonna use a foundation brush on one side and a sponge on the other side, and I'll see what I think. Okay, I have one pump there on the back of my hand, and oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous. Let's do this side first with the brush. The brush is nice and soft. I used it for the first time last night. See, I think it actually matches my neck pretty good. I can't believe that. Usually when just choosing at the store, I always pick the wrong shade. You guys, it looks so nice. Skin-like. You can still, I didn't put on a ton, so you can still see my skin through it, but it also did a really nice job of covering some sun damage that I have up here in my forehead, and it's not sitting weirdly on my pores either. Let's try it on the other side of my face with my sponge. I pretty much used a whole pump on this side, so I'm getting a fresh pump for the other side. I'm liking how it looks with a sponge too. Comparing the sides, I don't know, this side might look a little bit more dewy just because from the dampness of my sponge, but I can't really say that I prefer a side. I think they both look really nice. Gonna add a little bit of coverage here where I have some more redness peeking through. It might sit a little funny on my nose, which isn't something I'm accustomed to with the other foundations I've used. Usually it's not a problem spot for me. It looks like it's having a little bit of trouble grabbing onto my nose, but nothing serious. I just have a little bit left over. I'm just gonna put it down my neck a little bit. All right. Yeah, I actually think the shade match is really good, and I immediately am liking how it feels. It's not tacky, it's setting down already, but even with that, you can see it's still letting like my natural luminosity shine through. I don't look matte, and yet this is not a dewy foundation, so I really appreciate that. And yesterday I did wear it for several hours into the evening, and I thought it looked really nice by the time I washed it off. I'm of course gonna wear it all day today, so hopefully I'll remember to update. Okay, moving on from Believe Beauty for the moment, we'll get back to that here with some other products, but for now I want to use the e.l.f. This is the Flawless Brightening Concealer. I have the shade Fair 15W. I've had this for a little while and I haven't really mentioned it because it took me a while to kind of gather my thoughts on it. When I first bought it, I thought I was buying more of a corrector, kind of like the Becca under eye one, where I was imagining you put a little bit down and then put your regular concealer over the top. And I found that when I did that, I must have used too much product. I really didn't like how it looked. I felt like it creased immediately. But now, I figured out that I just like to use it by itself, and it is very much a brightening shade. This is one of those things where I was like, holy smokes, I really bought a bright shade. But now I've decided that I really like it. It looks really nice and natural. It's not going to be a high coverage concealer by any means, but it does the thing where, you know, it blends from your eye skin into your cheek skin, you know? So there's not that weird line there. But otherwise it can just kind of brighten the under eye area and just kind of make you look awake, which I always like to bring it up a little bit like this, hoping that it might lift my eyes a little bit. Really, really easy and really, really natural looking. Okay, let's do something that I almost never do, and I think I've only done this maybe once on my channel. Let's put on bronzer. This time of year is like one of the only times where I feel like I want bronzer. Lately I've been wanting bronzer. So this is just a sample size of the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. It's kind of a glowy bronzer. I got this ages ago in an Ipsy, and I'm like, even though the time I never wore bronzer, I thought I'll keep it in case I ever want it. Well, lately I've been wanting it. This is a stippling brush from Sephora. It's hilariously large to get in this tiny little pan, but I really load it up since it does diffuse it really nicely with this type of brush head. And I have a super high forehead, so I really concentrate it right here, kind of working it back into my hair and then blending. There, I realize that probably isn't a whole lot, but I don't like to do more. I feel like it looks so unnatural on me. I've just always been a very pale person, so I don't like to go in too hard with the bronzer. Otherwise it just looks unnatural, I feel. Then I put the tiniest bit back here again. I prefer most of the color on my cheeks to come from blush. Even though I've had this forever, it still kind of smells like coconut. There, I think that was a nice subtle wash of color. Let's do blush. So for this, we're going back to Believe Beauty. I've heard more than one influencer talk about this blush, so I had to check it out. So this is the cream blush in the shade Doll Face. This is how it looks. It looks in the pan, sort of like how the e.l.f. putty blushes look. Feels pretty similar to, I feel like, to the e.l.f. ones. Let's try it out. I actually feel like it's pretty pigmented. And I do like to bring it up like right here under the corner of my eye. I feel like it looks a lot more natural. I feel like when I just kind of concentrate it here, this one spot looks really stark and white. So I do like to bring it up right there. There, that is so pretty and really, really easy to blend out. I always like to start pretty high on my cheek to try and lift my face a little bit. Otherwise, if I bring it down too low, I feel like it really kind of makes me look tired and old, which I'm 33. It's kind of what I want to avoid, looking tired and old. I think that is such a pretty color. Okay, let's move on to a product that I have recently seen online, and I was not planning on getting this, and somehow I went into Ulta specifically to get the NYX glitter glue. I saw this and I somehow ended up buying it. I was not planning on it. This is from Maybelline. This is the Perfector 4-in-1 glow makeup, and it's supposed to be a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury, what do you call it? The Flawless Filter. I don't have that to compare them, but I thought this would be in a more cost-effective way, perhaps, for me to try out if I even like this type of thing. So it comes with like the squishy sponge applicator on it, just like the concealer does from Maybelline. Turn it to release product, and I'm just going to use it as a highlight on the very tops of my cheekbones, right there. One disappointing thing I noticed about this is the shade. This is the lightest shade. I got shade 00, Fair Light, and I think it's actually pretty dark. I think I can make it work on my skin. But I'm gonna put a heavy swatch on my wrist. You can see there how dark it is, which I found that so surprising that they would make the fairest shade super dark, because I'm not even the fairest of the fair. Anyway, I think it blends out to look really, really pretty. What do you guys think? Let's try the other side. And I like highlighting in a way that doesn't include any sparkles or glitters. So far I'm thinking I'm a fan. I did try this yesterday briefly, and I did notice I felt like it was kind of gone after not too long. So this is another product I'm gonna try and keep a watch on its wear time. There. Beautiful, healthy glow. So like I said, I haven't tried the more expensive versions of this type of thing, but I like it so far. Although it is glowy enough that I would not use this as a BB cream like it suggests on it. It says you could use it as a primer, a concealer, which again, no, a highlighter, and a BB cream. I could see using it as a primer and as a highlighter, but definitely not as concealer. And I suppose you could use it as a BB cream if you were really after something extremely glowy. It has a very light coverage to it, but personally it's definitely in the highlighter or primer category. Okay, I'm gonna do brows real quick. So this is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. So far I find it very comparable to the Essence one that I was using. It has perhaps a slightly smaller little wand on it, which I think I like better than the Essence. I was hoping to tell you what shade I'm using, but it doesn't say on the packaging. I'm sorry, I don't remember what I purchased. It does, I feel like, pull a little dark, whatever this shade is. It's unfortunate that I can't remember. Yeah, there's one brow with, one brow without. There's not a gigantic difference, but I honestly don't like to use too much, especially when it's a shade that's a little bit too dark for me. Okay, let's do eyes. I'm going to prime my eyelids with this Ulta Beauty Matte Cream eyeshadow. This is the shade Game Over. I'm gonna use it both as a primer and as like the base color. I'm probably gonna work it up into the crease because we're going to be topping it with this little cream shadow from Belief Beauty. Okay, I decided to do a major do-over. I put too much on this side. This side is fine. I need to just redo this side because it's just more pigmented than I realized. I use a lot the Rimmel ones that are similar to these, and those are not as pigmented. So note to self, with the Ulta cream shadows, don't use as much. There's the light wash of color I was after. Okay, now let's try out this cream shadow. So this is what they call the Glimmer Pot Gel to Powder Eyeshadow. I have the shade Gold Flake, and it has a really fun stamp in it. You can see I was swatching it over here, but it looks kind of like ripply, and the texture of it is just like a ColourPop Super Shock, really, really soft. So I'm just gonna put it on, I would say, starting in the center of my lid. Oh, it's pretty. It's not nearly, honestly, as intense as I thought it might be. I think you could probably work it up to being super intense, but it creates kind of that wet look that I enjoy so much. You guys are probably sick and tired of hearing me talk about how much I like the wet, glimmery look, but I feel like it looks so summery and youthful and glowy and not too overdone, you know? There, can you guys see the texture of the nice wet glimmery look that I got going on? This type of shadow can go well with so many different looks. If you're trying to go just for more everyday or more glam, I feel like it can translate to so many different things. Like sometimes I just want something a little more understated, which this is really nice for. Okay, I'm gonna quick tightline my eyes, which I won't be able to do on camera. I'll be right back. This is called the Wet n Wild Color Icon Kohl Eyeliner. It's the shade Simma Brown now. It's my favorite brown eyeliner. It stays really, really well. And it's very affordable. Okay, before I do mascara, I'm gonna quick do a little spritz of this Fix It Up matte setting spray from Koki. I really don't know about how, if it makes my makeup last longer, honestly. I really don't know. I've been panning it and I still can't figure out if it helps. For mascara, let's use the Ilia. This is the Limitless Lash Mascara. This is such a pretty mascara, but it does not wear the best on me. I can count on, by the end of the day, having some smudging, especially if I've been doing any sweating. So I'm probably just gonna put this on my upper lashes and avoid putting it on the lower ones. If you're looking for a lengthening mascara, this Ilia one is the way to go, and you can buy it in a mini size, which is awesome. Personally, I feel like if I'm gonna be buying any high-end mascara, I always get the mini, because they seem to last a full 6 months anyway. I suppose not all of them do, but many of them do. I of course got mascara all over my eyelid. I'll have to go back in once it dries to get it off. In fact, I like this mascara wand enough that I'm considering that when I'm actually done with mascara, I might just hang on to the wand and use it to brush other mascaras through my lashes. I've never done that before, but this might be the mascara wand that I keep. Okay, now let's do lips. I do have another Believe Beauty thing to try out. So this is the Lustrous Shine lip gloss, and I got the shade Georgia Peach. I tried this out yesterday, and I don't know, you guys. I'll show you why I have some reservations. So the color itself is really pretty. It doesn't have the most pleasant scent. It smells kind of chemically to me, maybe. Kind of unscented, which, you know, for a lot of people that's probably good, but I feel like in this particular format, a little scent would have been helpful. So applying it right off the bat, it feels a bit more sticky, which I'm not against sticky glosses because they are the types that will stick on your lips better. Now I'm trying to be careful how much I put on because it can get, I feel, a bit too much. Okay, now just having it on my lips, I feel like it looks really pretty, but I was doing the lip smacking test yesterday, and we'll see how it does. I'll try it again right now. Yesterday, however, I got the strings pretty intense between my lips, so let's see how we go here. Not bad. So I think the thing with this is to use one dip. One dip in this, because if you try and layer it on and make it look extra glossy, which it does look really nice right now, but if you are someone who likes to really layer on the gloss, this is one that would give you the stringy lip situation, which is to be avoided at all costs. But right now, I'm really happy, actually. I was delighted. I was thinking about this and like, man, I don't know if I can hang on to that gloss, but now that I know one light little layer is okay. And just talking and stuff, I don't feel like my lips are trying to stick together or anything. So that is good. Considering it's going to be incredibly hot, incredibly hot, I should probably powder. Powdering always scares me, you guys. I feel like I always put on too much and I look powdery, or I don't put on enough and it's like, why did I do that? I did nothing. I'm trying out a new powder to me. So this is the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. It's supposed to set you down without removing the glow from your skin, which would be sad considering we went through all that effort putting on highlighter and such. I'm gonna use this big giant fluffy brush. Just gonna get a little bit to start. Tap off the excess. And I like to concentrate my powder right here because that's where I feel like I get really shiny. Okay, looking at this side versus this side, like I know on the camera it can be hard to see, but this side is definitely a little blurred and more mattified, but I still manage to keep my glow, I guess. I know a lot of people rave about this powder. I hope I like it as much as other people do. I forgot to set my under eyes, so I'm gonna quick tap out anything that has settled into fine lines, which there wasn't much, to be honest. That was good. And we're just using a fluffy eyeshadow brush actually to take a little bit of my number 7 powder, and I just kind of dust it under, and I really notice a difference. See how like kind of glowy, you can see all sorts of things over here, and here it just looks nice and flattened. Okay, I'm gonna fluff my hair. I'll be right back. Okay, let's talk about thoughts. First of all, foundation. It looks so nice. I'm so pleased. I'm scared, you guys, when trying out new foundations. It's just not something that I try a lot of just because so many of them epically fail for me. So now comes the true wear test of does it wear well during the day, but doesn't make me break out. I did wear it yesterday and I did not have any breakouts this morning, so bonus, so we'll see if it works out again today. I really think that that Believe Beauty blush is very natural looking, very pretty. Like, I don't look like I have too much blush on right now. I mean, I did put a little bit of powder over it, which sometimes can tone down the blush, but I feel like it looks really nice. And so affordable. That glimmery little eyeshadow topper I put on, I realize you guys probably can't see it very well, but looking in the mirror, I really like how it looks. The gloss, I'm a little sad for myself that I broke my lip no-buy to try this because it's a bit more sticky than I prefer. I kind of have to be careful with it to make sure I don't apply too much, but the actual color is pretty and it's not annoying to wear. Like, I don't feel like my lips are sticking together while talking or anything. Also, this is another one that had a sticker on it. You can see like the sticky stuff there. I cannot get it off. Very frustrating. The Maybelline Perfector. I think it's beautiful. I'll be wearing this more for sure. And I don't know what I think about the powder. Often I realize what I think about a powder later in the day when sometimes powder will settle into my pores, especially if I've used it too much. So we'll see how this looks later in the day, I guess. Oh, also, I really like the Believe foundation brush. I thought it did a really nice job. This is exactly the type of look I like in the summertime. It's just not too much. And hopefully with this being a little bit more of a satin foundation, it won't melt off my face or make me look greasy by the end of the day. Hey guys, I thought I would do a little check-in. It has now been over 8 hours since I have put on this makeup, and I don't think I could be more impressed with the foundation. It has not broken up at all, even in my oily areas. It looks great. The Maybelline Glow makeup is still showing up. It wore way better than I thought it would. I mean, the mascara is wearing like I knew it would. It's starting to smudge. It's what it does at the end of the day for me. And I'm wearing a different lip gloss now. You know, the other stuff has worn off. I've put new stuff on. The cream eyeshadow has started to crease. I've tapped it out a few times. And honestly, like I said, usually when I wear powder, usually by the end of the day, I can see it kind of sitting in my pores. I cannot see the e.l.f. one. I think I see why everyone likes that powder so much. It's like undetectable, but my makeup looks great. I'm really happy. I even asked my husband, who is very picky, if you're looking makeup-y, he'll spot it. And he just told me I looked a little shiny, and he was like, and he pointed here. I'm like, oh, well, that was on purpose. But otherwise, he didn't spot makeup face happening. So I think that this foundation so far is a winner. The only thing now that I need to keep track of is if it causes breakouts, which a lot of times if it is going to cause a breakout on me, it's already happened by the end of the day. I can see it starting to come through, especially on my cheeks. It hasn't happened yet. Okay, that was my own fault for filming in front of the door. My husband tried to come in. My makeup looks good. That was my update. Okay. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I had a lot of fun trying out this new makeup. If you tried any of these products, let me know down below, especially the Believe Beauty things. If you've tried them, what do you think? And if there's any other things from the line that are really good, please let me know. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!